Welcome to another episode of Me, My Wife, and Sports. I'm your host, Fitz, with my lovely co-host, Darcy.
Hello.
All right, a lot in sports been going on this past week. And first and foremost, I want to congratulate SAG.
Okay, yeah.
Or SGA, I'm sorry.
SGA.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes, that's close.
Who's the NBA most valuable player for 2024-2025.
Yes.
It's long overdue.
Yes, it is. Congrats.
And just to give you an idea of what type of season he had or is having, during the regular season, he led the league in scoring at 32.7 points per game and 6.4 assists a game, which is a career high for him. And his scoring field goal percentage is 51.9%, which is excellent. And 1.7 steals per game and 1.0 blocks per game. So he's a well-rounded player and he's a guard. So again, congratulations and well-deserved.
Yes. Yay.
Also,
Yay.
Congrats to, well, I won't even say congrats just yet, but the rumor is Saquon Barkley is going to be on the cover of the new
well, I don't know.
Sports
That's
game.
Congratulations.
Well, it's an honor and it's a curse.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah.
Because we're talking Madden, legend
I mean,
in sports.
I get it. But if you are a traditional sports athlete, I mean, so, Saquon he might be of this new school, but you know how most athletes are superstitious.
Right.
And they have, certain
Right.
patterns and things that they
Right.
follow and things that they believe and, traditions that they hold on to as they continue to play.
Right.
And historically, being on the cover of Madden has not played out well for that particular individual. I just wonder if the guys, if the
Is it in
players,
their head?
are they paying attention to that?
I'm sure.
Did Saquon go, yay? Or did he go, okay?
I got to be careful this season because...
Yeah.
But you know what? It's
is
just
he going to do the hurdle thing this year, knowing that he's on the cover of Madden?
And that's the actual cover that they're looking to use. Again,
The picture?
Yeah, and this isn't official yet, but through all sources I looked at, it looks like it's weighing to that side of the field. But the funny part about it is if you let that sort of set on your mind, it's going to mess your play up because, I'm a firm believer if you will it or speak it.
Yeah,
you can make it happen.
You can self-actualize a lot of things in your life,
Exactly.
I absolutely believe that. So,
also,
all right, what else you got? You're full of good news.
I am.
This episode.
And, the owners had their big meeting.
Yes.
The tush push is here to stay.
Well, okay.
Adam Schefter from ESPN said his sources, they voted 22-10 on the proposal to allow the tush push.
Adam's got pretty good sources, so okay, but that's just the right thing to do.
Right.
We were talking, and that would be like saying, Tom Brady's too good of a quarterback. He every time he throws the ball, we can't block it, so it's no fair to let him play.
And there was only 10,
and they would have ruled him out.
Right.
That's just crazy.
And
everybody got to learn now. They need to be studying the Eagles. Go back and look at that tape and keep looking at it.
Well, the funny part about that, during the meeting, they brought in a couple of people from the Eagles. I think one was the coach or the back office. I'm not sure. But the other person was Kelsey.
Okay.
And what was Kelsey's first name on now?
Jason.
Well, they brought him in. He was speaking because their biggest concern about the tush push was injury to the player because everybody's
Right.
piling up. And he said he never had any issues and all that. But there were 10 teams that voted against the proposal on letting it pass.
Meaning that it should not be allowed.
No, it should be allowed
Okay.
to have it passed.
Okay.
And those teams were, of course, the Eagles, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, Jaguars, Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints, New York Jets, Tennessee Titans. It seems like it's all East Coast, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Midwest. Well, not Midwest because Green Bay, the one filed the suit to block it.
Okay.
But the article also had comments from Jerry Jones' son, who was, I think, the operations president or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he, of course, is against it. You know, so
well, okay,
it is what it is,
right?
And also, congratulations to Cam Ward. You know, he was the draft pick of the Titans, and this goes back to an episode that we did where we talked about these guys representing themselves. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was our last episode, and he represented himself through his negotiations and ended up with a $48.7 million contract over 4 years, fully guaranteed.
Good for him. Yeah. Good for him. He seemed like a very smart young man.
Right. Definitely.
Very smart young man. So that's very impressive.
Yes. And also during this meeting, because, you know, the owners had their spring meeting just beforehand. And during that meeting, they introduced a new award that they're going to start using in the NFL. It's called the Protector of the Year Award.
Yeah,
And it goes to the offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm surprised. I thought they had an award for offensive linemen. But maybe they do or maybe they don't, or I just never paid any attention. I always saw the defensive award.
Right. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
They should be.
Because you know what's going to come along with that award? A monetary.
It's got, yeah. If you get an award called Protector of the Year,
right,
you should get
something.
You know, there should be a monetary award that comes with that because clearly you have protected something or someone. So.
Exactly. And I don't know if you heard about what Kirby Smart, the college football coach for Georgia, his comments on the NIL situation.
No.
This is a quote from what he said. I just want to be able to have a freshman come in and not make more than a senior. And I like for other sports to be able to still survive. You know, we are on the brink of probably one of the 1 to 2 years away from a lot of schools cutting sports, end quote. So, you know, this NIL piece is getting a lot of traction, and a lot of these college coaches now, I think, having second thoughts, you know, can I coach this kid, or is he going to be calling the shots because he's worth $6 million?
You know, I mean, more money, more problems, you know. Then somebody say, write a song about it. Like to hear it, here you go.
Yeah. So
is there some jealousy there that maybe some of these kids are going to come in the door making more money than some of these coaches?
It could be.
Is this the problem that they are foreseeing down the road? Is that going to be a problem? Is the issue that maybe some of these kids are now going to have the opportunity to make more money than the staff?
Right.
And as a result, the staff does not have the mental capacity to manage people who make more money than them. See, this is now going to be a problem that the private sector is going to learn about, that the government employees learned 20 years ago.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, because a lot of times we managed people who made more money than we did. Mm-hmm. But it didn't matter because of the, you know, the positions that we were in.
Well,
so now the private sector never was structured that way because they didn't have to be structured that way. Right. But now things are falling differently.
Well, I think from looking at everything, I think it's more so I'm not going to be able to tell an 18-year-old what to do if he's making more than me.
But I think everybody's going to have it's not just going to be
Because
a mindset. It's a paradigm shift.
Yeah. And
for everybody.
And the child or the teenager is holding the cards now. If you're one of those top recruits coming out of college, now I got to keep this kid happy because if he leaves because he feels he can get a better deal somewhere else.
But see, but that it doesn't matter. But that kid is going to have to realize whatever my money is based on me playing. If I go everywhere I go, I got the same attitude and nobody wants to coach me, I'm never going to make that money.
Yep. But with
you see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but with the portal, how many times have we seen kids jump into 2 or 3 schools? Look at Cam Ward. He went to about 3 schools.
And then you know where else the paradigm shift is going to be? With the owners, because they're going to say, if you can't stay and play, it's going to be, you know, how everything goes around. There's nothing new on the earth. There's nothing new on the earth.
It's just done maybe a little bit different.
And the mindset is going to come back to a time where they're going to say, if you can't stay at one school, I don't want you because you're not going to stay with me.
You know, I have to disagree with you on that. And the reason being because everybody looks at it as a business now, even with the NIL from college all the way up to pros. And even in the job market, kids aren't staying with companies that long because it's no pensions and all that. And they're going to the highest bidder. So I see it across the board, whether it's sports or not.
But they're still not making no money. And they still don't have the security and the long-term security that they're looking for. Because
are they? That's why they're trying to get it all in one swoop. Like these contracts now are crazy that these football players and NBA players or athletes.
The athletes definitely are getting it, but the regular American is not getting it.
No. But this is a sports show, not a regular American show.
Oh, well. Stay tuned for my regular American show.
So it's going to be interesting moving down the road.
We got off track.
Yes, we did. All right.
What else you got?
Well, one particular thing I want to bring up because it might cause a little bit more conversation for us. I don't know if you heard about Ryan Clark, who's an analyst, and him and Robert Griffin III's sort of feud. Basically,
Ryan Clark.
Yes.
No.
Basically, Robert Griffin made a comment about the Angel Reese and the Caitlin Clark situation. And Robert Griffin III sort of put I won't say all the blame, but sort of basically said Angel Reese. And again, I'm sort of paraphrasing this. She needs to just play ball and accept that Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA, and quit being angry about it, basically. So Ryan Clark basically came at Robert Griffin III, said he don't understand the plight of the black female, basically, because he's married to a white woman and he's out of touch, basically. And so they kept going back and forth, and Robert Griffin III said basically that Ryan Clark is attacking his family, which is out of bounds, which I agree, but I don't think he's attacking the family. He just made a statement. Whether that statement has any merit, is either here or there. And everybody has their opinion, as long as they keep it above board. So I don't think it's going to end nicely between those two. Because it reminds me of Stephen A. Smith and
said a lot.
LeBron. And when Stephen A. Smith said something about LeBron's son, and Stephen A. is an analyst, and he's going to talk about those folks in the NBA or whatever sport. And so Ryan Clark gave his opinion, and Robert Griffin didn't like it because it went toward him and his family, allegedly.
That is a lot.
Because
there is a lot going on in that article.
All right. I'm going to just, I'm going to sum up one line.
You can't take on that.
I know.
That's too much.
And I'm just going to sum up.
Overwhelmed.
I'm going to sum up one line that Ryan Clark made, and it, to me, sort of puts it all in perspective. one thing we know, this is a quote from Ryan Clark. One thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country. End quote. So that sort of kicked it all off, and it just went downhill from there.
That is like, I don't know how I feel about any of that right now.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm gonna have to get back to
Yeah.
you all on
And it's
how I feel about
And it's a
any of
touchy,
that,
it's a touchy
because
subject.
it is a that has so many issues in it.
Right.
And yeah.
So
I never was a RG3 fan, and so I would have to pray about it, and I'm gonna have to get back to y'all on that one.
all right. Well,
Woo! That's a lot.
yeah.
Ryan didn't, he went for the jugular
He
on
did.
that one.
He
I'm
didn't
like,
hold back.
okay.
He did not hold back.
That's when you kind of say, okay.
All right. Now, the one thing I do want to talk about, we watched Indiana. Well, first of all,
Oh, the game last
the
night.
NBA is in their
Oh.
playoff series right now, and Indiana Pacers was playing New York in New York, and New York they had a nice lead. At one point, I think it was a 20-point lead, and it dropped to 15, 10, and eventually 5, and so forth. But with less than, I think, 2 minutes ago, I believe Indiana wiped away a 20-point deficit and basically sent the game into overtime and actually won the game in overtime. And you can blame it on anybody, a ref call, a player,
the end
or
of that
a
game,
coach.
they look like little boys. I mean, they look like the ankle biters. They look like ankle biters out there playing basketball, and the ball was bigger than them, and they was all just falling over each other at the end of the game. Remember?
Which team you talking about, Joe? Both teams.
Just both teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was a fight to the death because they wanted to win at home.
It was just like, I couldn't believe they was just falling over each other. It was, oh my
and
goodness.
I wasn't a big fan of him. I
am a fan,
but he's cool as a cucumber.
He's Reggie. He's Reggie.
He.
I see Halliburton. I see Reggie Miller. I'm just a Reggie Miller fan.
But when I see him, I see the Reggie, like you said. I see George Gervin like the Iceman, because he was just. He took over the game, and he didn't let the pressure bother him.
If he could keep his cool, and he seemed he was able to keep his cool. Sometimes he loses cool, and he let the other team get in his head. But yesterday,
and he was unselfish too on passes and everything.
Yeah, he was very composed yesterday.
Right. Very much so.
Very composed, and I don't know what he did.
Right.
To get that composure, but I want him to keep doing it.
Right.
Because he looked really good, because I seen him lose it.
Yeah.
And I seen him, and the team suffers when he loses.
Now, Brunson from New York, I'm not a big fan of him because to me, I just watching him. I could be wrong. They might give him the leeway, but he seems like he just plays out of control a lot, and he doesn't realize certain situations in the game, like when it's tight or close, he'll do something crazy instead of being a little bit more conservative with the ball and some of the things he do.
Yeah.
Because he's a big actor. I'm sorry. Every time he goes to the hole, he's flapping his arms, falling. And I'm like, come on, let's just play ball. That's just me. He
just played to me like he's still playing college. I just haven't seen the maturity level change.
Right.
And so,
So do you think they're going to end up taking this? Because losing that first game at home is a serious thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping Indiana go further than they did last year. That's my hope. I don't know what that means, but I'm just hoping we go further than we did last year. If I have to have a basketball team and my home team ain't in it, that's the Wizards, because Maryland ain't got a team, so we got to go.
I'm a Laker fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you are a Laker fan.
All my life, Laker fan.
I was a Laker fan when Magic and back in the day, but not now.
Well, I take that back. I wasn't always a Laker.
So-
I started off as a Sonics fan, but
Yeah, but
now I'm a Laker.
anywho, but my other team is Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna see it. I don't know. Halliburton looked good, but everybody else played well too. It wasn't just him; it's a team effort.
Right.
Nemhard, they all showed up. They all showed up in New York and showed out. But I need you to hold the choke move until we know we won.
Oh yeah,
That was premature.
because he thought he had the 3, but his toe was on the line.
But then we got, don't make us look cray. Hold the choke move till we won.
Luckily they won, and
Luckily we won, and so it's still a good move. Now that not everybody is using the picture on Instagram, and we can use it because we won, but we would have looked crazy if we didn't. So let's not use the move unless we won.
Exactly.
But yeah, but now tonight is
OKC.
OKC and
Come on, you forget it.
Ant Edwards.
Come on, Minnesota.
I always get the Timberwolves. Is that who they are?
Yeah.
And
I know you're talking about with Greek the Freak.
Greek the Freak. I always get those two teams mixed up. But yes, and what I want to say is, OKC.
Yeah.
Y'all got the MVP. I need the fans.
Right.
Fans, y'all on TV.
This should be a good
Y'all
series.
sitting there like y'all in military formation. Like y'all been told. We all clap
Waiting for the
in
ball
unison.
sign. Like at a TV show.
Like they know they on TV. We gonna all wear the same shirt. Cause they all got the same shirt. Whatever the shirt of the day is,
Right.
if it's in Oklahoma, they gonna all be dressed alike.
Because they're going to lay the shirts out.
But that's some cult stuff. If y'all need help in Oklahoma, blink twice. Somebody, when the camera hits you, blink real fast. And we gonna get some help to you. We know a lot of services have been cut, but blink real fast if you need help in Oklahoma at this game, because y'all is starting to look kind of cultish.
Hey, just because they got uniformity.
It's too much uniformity. It's too much. They clapping in unison. They stand in unison. They sit.
They don't do that.
No. It's
no verbiage.
if one person is off, they probably get them out. Seat number 333, remove please now.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a good series, I think, between Ant-Man, Edwards, that is. And,
Tonight on ESPN.
SGA, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's in Oklahoma, tune in, but I need somebody. Let us know.
That's it.
We see you. We see you. If you need help, let us know.
Oh, man. Also, sort of switching back to NFL, I was, like I said, pleased to see that Cam Ward brokered his own deal. But I also was kind of happy to see some of the folks who are playing getting the money they deserve. And I was also disappointed with some players getting the money I don't think they deserve. Because it was on ESPN. I went to this site on ESPN, and it talks about the highest paid quarterback per year. And Dak Prescott is that quarterback.
Wow.
And it's at $61.6 million. And then, of course, Josh Allen and all that. But in the highest 6 paid quarterbacks, not one has won a Super Bowl.
Wow.
I would have thought, they would have had somebody who won a Super Bowl, because number 2 is Joe Burrows. Number 3 is Jordan Love. 4, Trevor Lawrence. And 5, Jared Goff. And 6, Josh Allen. Now, the rub comes in, and that's just the highest paid, a highest 3-year pay. Now, the rub comes in about total guaranteed money. Josh Allen leads that. Because to me, I think that's more important, because with that guaranteed money, if I get hurt and all that, it's probably not going to get prorated. I still get that money, but as long as I follow the guidelines of the NFL policy, team policy. And And number 2 guaranteed money is Deshaun Watson, who hasn't played a full. I want his age.
Right?
I mean,
right?
his guaranteed money is $230 million.
Off the hook.
230.
Ain't played a game in like 3 years.
And of course, Dak Prescott's 3, Burrow's 4, Patrick Mahomes 5, Trevor Lawrence 6.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
They clearly don't know nothing about pay for performance.
Performance, yes.
Pay for performance.
Yes. I totally agree.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But man.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
That's like, but whew. All right, we're gonna see.
All right. Last topic I want to talk about before we.
Let me ask you something though, real quick though. What is going on with Aaron Rodgers?
I haven't heard anything.
They say the Steelers are still waiting for him to make a decision.
I guess when you got it like that, you got it like that.
And what is he? Is he? Remember we saw that Netflix special?
Yeah.
Is he like up in the woods, like smoking some ganja,
doing some peyote?
Right?
Sitting in a steam hut.
What is he waiting for? And why are they waiting? This is crazy.
It is. And Aaron Rodgers go down in history as a great quarterback, but this is really messing with your legacy here. This prima donna. And I get it. People takes time to see if they want to keep working in a certain profession. But come on. You should know by now. I mean, workouts are starting to go and things of that nature. But hey, I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right. One thing I wanted to bring up was your thoughts on the pro athletes now being able to play flag football in the Olympics.
Again, you be catching me.
Because my thing is, you have NBA, they get to feel the thrill, win a gold medal or whatever in the competition, and playing with fellow teammates or fellow professional team players. And it's a good feeling to do that for the U.S. And football never really had that. Their extent is playing a game overseas in Brazil, England, or whatever. Now they get to participate in the Olympics. My only concern, if I was a NFL owner, I'd be like, okay, you sign this piece of paper saying if you get hurt, you void all your pay.
Bonuses and advances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now we'll still pay you a prorated or whatever, but you went out to, even though it's still technically a football sport.
That would be considered extracurricular activity.
But I guess too, what happens with the professional pros who do it though? I'm assuming the league bought into it.
For like NBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they've been doing the Olympics. But to me, with that football, because their seasons is so short and the healing time, if they get injured.
And soccer does it all. Soccer does it. All the other major league does it. So
I'm just not a fan of football doing it on flag football.
We're gonna have to look into it and then get back
definitely.
to our audience about it.
Because even though it's flag football and these guys played professional or are playing professional,
it's not it shouldn't be as physical, but
flag football gets physical.
Oh, does it?
But you can't bring that padded mentality to a touch game. But it does get physical. I seen when we were in the military, we used to play, and I mean, people come out with bruises and in some cases broken bones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can see where you can definitely have serious injuries.
Right.
Just as serious, if not more, because of the running and the physical, the running part. And it could still be very physical, but not that, it shouldn't be that falling on people.
Oh yeah. Look at soccer.
The heavyweight. I don't know.
Because
it's just different. It's a different kind of
blocking. And,
it's just a different kind of physical, I guess. But
it's gonna be.
It would still be a risk that that has already been addressed because, like we said, other major league sports are doing it. So if they're allowing their athletes to do it, either they're assuming the risk
Right.
or they're making the athletes assume
Right.
the risk.
And
But
see,
it's got to be something at the end of the day. What I think is it's got to be something about wanting to be a part of the Olympics
Right.
and wanting to compete at the international level that every athlete wants to do.
right.
And so that's why this would be
Well, and
attractive
to bring
to
it
some
home to the
athletes.
U.S., you be part of something bigger than your
To
sport.
be, and that's that competing
Right.
at that international level.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what it's all about.
Yeah. See, like I said, like with other sports, they're going to Olympics, they're playing soccer. They're going to Olympics, they're playing basketball. But now you're going to Olympics as a football player, you're not padding up, you're not hitting somebody and tackling somebody.
You would have to consider that either part of conditioning or
You're going to snatch a flag,
yeah,
and that's it,
I don't know.
Because when you're rushing the quarterback, you're not going to pounce on him. Now, you might have a flashback, but you're just going to grab the flag from the quarterback.
You're right.
So it's some adjustment. And I'm sure every football player at some point in their life played flag football.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Darcy. That sort of brings us to the end of our show. But as always, I always have my little known sports fact. And since, you know what?
Little known sports fact.
Since we were talking about the Olympics, I'm going to do something or make something about the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
And all right. The little known sports fact as it pertains to the Olympics. Winners in the Olympics were not always given a golden medal. Instead, they were awarded a silver medal along with what?
They were not always given a golden
medal. Instead, they were awarded a silver medal along with what? Okay, time's up. They would give them an olive branch.
I was going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say an olive branch. I said, I was on the tip of my tongue. I was going to say.
All right. That's our little known sports Olympics fact. So, well, it's been great doing this episode. A lot to discuss in future episodes, especially. I don't want to leave the RG3 situation in the dark because our society has changed a lot. And so we need to embrace that change. And sometimes it is what it is. It's not no hidden agenda, no look what's behind the door. A person is saying this is what they believe and it's their opinion. And another person is saying, no, your opinion is wrong because of X, Y, Z, which, we're not in a position, I think, as a society to denounce somebody's opinion. Again, that's what it is, an opinion. So, all right. As always, if you have any questions, comments, you can reach us at memywifeandsports at yahoo.com and leave us a message. Just say hello or say, can you do a episode on XYZ? Just let us know. And thank you again for all our new listeners. We received a couple of new countries, folks listening like out of Germany. So thank you for listening to our program. And I hope you are enjoying it.
Yes. I miss you, Germany.
Darcy, any final thoughts?
It was fun. We'll see you soon. And as in parting, remember your mate is a reflection of you.